off on Disney. Like it was interesting, but if you haven't read it, then we probably.
But yeah,
already
no,
kinda covered.
I got the Obsidian thing when we come up to it.
Yeah, you got that, thankfully. And it looks like you read the link, but I don't want to leave anybody out.
No, I went and researched it. What are you talking about?
I don't know. But this has been interesting. Like Disney's been catching it on both ends. That freaking interview with Bob Chapek went terrible, where he said, like, "No, man, we're doing great. Like our new direction's perfect. We're just representing the society today." And like, didn't the stock like immediately plummet after he did that interview? Like immediately the stock went down when he supported the woke direction. And I mean, how bad is something that just doing that fucks up your stock?
It's down 40%.
Fuck within the first few seconds of going live.
We're live, aren't we?
Nice job. But no, last time I checked, they were down like 40% this year.
Yeah, well, like I said, man, it's wild. But I'll drop that topic now that we're live. But no, it's just Quentin Tarantino cracks me up because he's always been a kind of edgy guy, and I don't know why anybody would ask him about Disney because you knew he wasn't going to say anything pleasant. But I like the way he just called all the current creators just like hired guns, no actual like artists. It's not wrong. I mean, I haven't seen anything I consider to be quality in years, man. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, speaking of which, he had a pitch to try to do a Star Trek movie. But I think that ended up
now that'd have been a dark Star Wars movie.
Star Trek.
That still would have been a dark Star Trek movie, man. Quentin Tarantino don't do sissy stuff, man. Like he comes hard with like blood, gore, and profanity.
The thing about his movies, every single one of them that I've watched, I didn't like the first time. I had to watch it again, and after like 2 or 3 watches, you start like it's like kind of like beer the first time. It's an acquired taste, kind of like you are, Q. It's like I don't know if I like this. And then I watch it again. I'm like, okay, that's pretty funny. Okay, that's
I like most of his movies, honestly.
Well, like Inglourious Bastards, I really didn't care for it the first time. After watching it a couple of times, I'm like, hey, this is actually pretty good.
I liked Kill Bill, all the Kill Bills the first time around. I thought they were awesome.
Yeah.
I will say, Kill Bill was acquired taste. I could not get into it.
I liked Kill Bill. Something wrong with you.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just didn't care for it very much.
I forgot about those, but like Pulp Fiction, we all know the one scene that just creeps everybody out.
Pulp Fiction, I love. Reservoir Dogs.
I liked that one the first time through, but I'd already seen several of the other ones. I went back and watched that one.
Yeah, Reservoir Dogs was one of my favorite.
I was confused while watching Pulp Fiction the first time, but at the end, I was like, that was pretty good. But like, I was loving Kill Bill all the way through. Like, I loved Kill Bill. It was hilarious. But I also got into the style of it pretty fast. It was like somebody took the comic it was based on and put it on a screen with the over-the-top included. And I loved it.
Since we're live, we should probably actually, I don't know, start the show instead of rambling.
That's what we do best.
Well, I mean, it's part of the show. Let's be honest. But we should do the intro. So, welcome to Dicejunkies. I'm Xenodamus. I'm here with
Q.
And on Skype,
Bloodaxe.
Awesome. All right, let's get started.
What is it about YouTube that just makes you want to drop F-bombs at the beginning of a video?
I don't know, man.
It's so hard. Like, I'm sitting here trying not to do it. It's something about being told not to do it that makes you just want to curse. I'm just sitting here going like, don't say F, don't say F, don't say F. And I'm just trying not to, but there's something going like, do it. Screw monetization, do it.
Yeah.
We're just naturally rule breakers, I think. It's just like the rules, man. I chafe under the strict regulation already.
All right, kick us off, Zeno.
Had to clean up some of the positioning there. All right.
You get to see it live.
Yeah. So let's start off with new game we saw that this week that actually looked really interesting. It looked my style for sure. And that is Blight Survival. Did you get a chance to watch that trailer, Bloodaxe?
No, I was too busy talking about what games you won't play with us.
That's right.
It's co-op, so it's another game to get ignored by Bloodaxe. I mean, no, by Xeno.
No, I play. But...
I mean, it depends on whether or not it's cross-play, and it actually works.
Okay, I'll give him that. We've had some bad luck with cross-play.
Oh man. No, this game actually looks really neat. It's like a medieval zombie game. I haven't really seen a medieval zombie game that I can think of.
It's like Dying Light meets Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Yeah.
But the combat doesn't look as janky. I don't care what you say.
Dude, I thought the combat was awesome in Kingdom Come Deliverance. I don't know what his problem is.
You think a lot of things are bad or good, though. This is you. We're used to this.
I just think you suck. When it comes to mouse and keyboard.
Dark Souls and Elden Ring, you come say that, boy, a real game.
Oh, I mean.
Scaredy cat. You're scared of real difficulty.
Whatever.
Telling me get good on Kingdom Come Deliverance. I'm like, get good on Dark Souls.
I would, but I don't want to embarrass you.
We might have to live stream the first play of this game. We might have to live stream the first play of this game.
Oh man!
If we can get them on,
you know, I'll live stream my solo run.
Yeah, because if we're playing,
I won't. I'll lie.
No, if we play co-op, you'll be hearing Xeno bitching and screaming about you guys are going the wrong way. We're like, we're both over here. You're the one gallivanting over there.
Well, see, now that's another reason I don't play a lot of these games co-op. I will say I have a very self-minded play style, and it annoys me when people don't do what I want.
I'll tell you how to play. No, I'll tell you the secret to playing a game with Bloodaxe. You go into Bloodaxe's world. Because I swear this dude got into my Dying Light game, too, and shot an innocent person immediately. And I'm like, stop murdering my citizens. Like, I won't lie. I am that dude that when you're in my game, your behavior will drive me crazy.
Yeah.
And Bloodaxe is just a psycho. Like, when I went in his Far Cry fame, he was just Far Cry game. He was just running over his own people.
So, I mean, when I play this, I'm going to have a particular play style. And it will probably not match
the other. But we go into his world, and you can do anything you want in a Bloodaxe world. It's a madhouse of murder and mayhem.
But hang on. There's a caveat. There's one world that you can't be a dick, and that's my grounded world.
That is true. But he built that from the ground up.
Yeah.
But there's a scene in here where he runs past an NPC and he waves, and I was thinking Bloodaxe would stab that guy. Yeah. That guy's not even a bad guy. Bloodaxe, the guy waves at you. The guy like, hey, and Bloodaxe would run up and go, oh no, I thought he was a zombie. And I'm like, he was waving at you.
Oh,
not that one.
Further,
yeah, right. Yeah, it's in that area. Like he runs up on a guy and waves at him a little bit. Yeah, and like I said, Bloodaxe would have stabbed that guy.
I thought he was
definitely stabbed that guy.
There it is.
And you would have stabbed that dude to death. Because in my game, I can't believe it. I'm up here walking. It's Dying Light 2. It's one of the survivors. And Bloodaxe just walks up and starts wailing on the dude. I'm like, what are you doing? That guy was holding flowers. What?
Yeah. Now, here's the only thing I have a little concern with is the speed of this game. You know, it was the same problem. The only problem I really have with Kingdom Come Deliverance is it's a bit slow. And with this, whenever you loot somebody, you're bending down. It actually goes through you digging through and then pulling you out the stuff. And
dude, just keeping your body clean. Going through that scene took forever in Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Oh, yeah, constantly having to wash your... I didn't mind that.
Because I couldn't walk around covered in shite.
Oh, no,
you know, so I would go to the bathhouse, and it was like a 30, 60-second scene.
Yeah.
It's like,
I think you could skip the bathhouse scene.
Not that much, though, because you had to walk in, you had to talk to this person, you had to...
But I will say, you had to open all the doors fully open. You hear the squeak, and I like that realism, but it does get old when you're playing a game, you know, and you're sort of like, I just want to get to this point, you know.
Well, it depends, but since this game looks like looting, because we saw them picking up crafting materials.
Yeah.
And well, all three of us are bad OCD, like obsessive compulsive when it comes to gathering loot. The Bloodaxe and me on Grounded, like, we got to have, like, I don't even want to craft an item if he doesn't have, like, 99 plus. How many times in the game have you told me, just make it? And I'm like, nah, dude, you've only got 30 left. I hate being low on supplies.
You see salt mineral.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. I have 300 in a storage chest out of range. I put 30 locally so you could use them.
But you get my point, though, is that we're so strict on gathering supplies that, I mean, I'm going to see that looting animation like at least 20, 30,000 times.
Oh, yeah.
Like in the first day, I'll have 100 salt crystals because I'm that obsessive.
Now, the bow seems interesting. You got the crosshair and everything.
I like the way it zeroes down as you draw on it harder.
And then it looks like it'll be easy to switch between weapons.
Yep.
It looks like you got a hot swap there.
I mean, we saw a bit of
Hopefully
stealth.
for keyboard use, I can also use numbers.
The combat has options. You see tackles, you see different types of swings, but it doesn't look like it's as meticulous as Kingdom Come Deliverance, which honestly,
Yeah.
that would have been
I
a
will
turn
say
off for
this
me.
this sneak scene actually did pretty nice. Like just the
Get him, then
shook,
go up high.
yeah, and then just done.
I mean, it looks really good. It's on my wish list. There's no date, but I'm going to go to Steam and mark it as let me know, keep me updated. Because I love fantasy. Because my biggest problem with Kingdom Come Deliverance wasn't the combat system. I got used to it. Multi-person combat was hard, but it was that, like, Xeno likes period pieces. I don't. I like fantasy. So,
Yeah.
whenever I play Kingdom Deliverance, I kept thinking, God, if only there was a little bit of fantasy, this game would be perfect. But I'm not into Game of Thrones. I'm not into political pieces. I'm more Lord of the Rings.
The
than I am Game of
the
Thrones.
story to me was amazing in Kingdom Come Deliverance.
It was well done.
Yeah, it was amazingly done. I got past the fact that there was no magic because on keyboard and mouse, I will say I'll separate this.
Please, thank you. 'Cause I was on a controller.
The sword combat was really much better. No, Dan, we're doing YouTube now. That's Bloodaxe. Bloodaxe, mute yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing live on YouTube.
Yeah, we're on YouTube now, Dan. Hopefully you don't mind switching over here.
I mean, should be able to grab a link. Yeah, and get on it. But check us out, man. We're doing live on YouTube, but we're glad to see you. We've been waiting for somebody to pop up.
Yeah, he's one of the ones. I'm not gonna connect the names, but is on. He's also on our Twitch a lot.
But like you said, the combat, that was the other thing too. I was trying to do it on a controller, and oh my God, it was not like he's on the mouse just parry, technique. I'm over here like, and then I finally got to the point I could mess up. I went through all the duels. I became the champion 1-on-1. Tried to fight 3 people, and it looked like a prison scene from Shawshank Redemption. I got violated badly.
Yeah, no.
And
I would say group battle was hard, but once you got the parrying down, you could definitely do group battle,
especially with your omnidirectional ability to react with a mouse. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? Anyway, the reason we're talking about Kingdom Come Deliverance is because this game definitely looks
in a
similar.
good way. In a good way.
Blight Survival is the name of it. Once again, if you're coming in late, but definitely worth checking out as a medieval zombie apocalypse. I mean, to me, I'm still loving the concept. I don't know why somebody hasn't.
I don't
done
even know if
this
it
yet.
is fantasy, but just the zombies add that extra element that I like, and it looks cool. And it's co-op. It's going to be co-op, though. Right now, they haven't mentioned any other platforms, but it is going to be co-op. So, unfortunately, that means that unless they do get on multiple platforms, I won't get to play with Bloodaxe. So I have to try to find a way to drag Xeno out of his dark, lone cellar, and get him to actually play the game with me.
Look, here's the other thing for me to play
You're still
co-op.
muted, I think, Bloodaxe.
One of the things I want to see so I can play co-op is one. Playing co-op does not affect my world.
Oh, same thing. I don't want you in my world. I'm kidding. I don't care.
Well, no. I mean, I want to play it solo. Now, this depends sometimes. I would like to see where if I'm jumping in somebody else's world, I don't have to redo,
I'm well grounded. Don't bring that up, man. Oh, when I jumped into Bloodaxe's game the first time, and I was butt naked, and all my perks were gone, and my weapons, I was like, I do not like this.
If it'd be nice that you can keep your progress as a character, so that I'm not having to level up twice, or I'm not having to.
I'll give that to Outward. You brought your dude in, and what you bought stuck. So you brought your character in, you took your character out. That was a cool thing. And I'd like to do the same thing. And so did I. Like in Far Cry, I was leveling my character somewhat in his world, and that was cool. Remember Bloodaxe? I was leveling up the challenges. I couldn't do the main story, but I was leveling up my challenges. And I like that because I didn't want to advance my main story in this game. We don't make the same decisions.
Yeah.
That was a perfect match. My story stayed where it was, but I got all the other stuff. That is what I'd like to see here. I hope if you're listening, let us bring in our characters and take our characters back out. But, let us keep our world states because I am meticulous about my playthroughs. I'm very, strict. Like I've been known to go back to a save because a single innocent person died.
And that way I don't have to yell at Bloodaxe if he's going the wrong way. I'll just go the wrong way with him.
And all the citizens, he can shank all the innocent citizens he wants. Because, dude, when you had that screenshot up, I can feel Bloodaxe's desire to hit assassinate. Like, he was looking at dude's back and going, like, assassinate. I'm like, Bloodaxe, he's not a zombie, man. I can feel it, dude. I love you, but I can feel it. You were looking at that dude's back. You wanted to stab him.
Reach for me. No, he was reaching out. He was trying to eat me. So, no, it was
I saw him. He flinched. He's a zombie.
I can't believe you beat that poor lady down in my game, dude. I'm walking and I just see him run up, bam, beats like a lady with a shawl on down. And like I thought it was a zombie. I'm like, dude, what the hell? People start screaming and running. Oh God, no! And I'm just like, yeah, that's my boy. Like,
dude, I accidentally killed somebody in my Far Cry game, and I literally
turned
it off and went back to a save.
I'm that bad, dude. If I shoot an innocent person, I will roll back the save, man. Whereas Bloodaxe is like, there's plenty of them. You know?
They respawn.
Yeah. That time you were running him over was funny. He's just running, and these guys are screaming, and he's just boop and Far Cry, boop, and I'm like, dude. He's like, what? I'm like, they're not even wearing the outfit. What are you? I thought it was one of them.
It's better if I drive than fly. You saw that.
Oh, we will not talk about that. I was mad at you for 24 hours for crashing that plane. He knows I was pissed at you. I thought you did it on purpose.
He came over here, got a shot, man. He was like, give me a shot. I was like, what?
This bastard nosedive, man. He nosedived in the ground. He did it to piss me off. I was convinced you did it to piss me off. I was. Each of my witnesses, I said, he's doing it to F with me, man. He's effing with me. I know it. He flew the plane before. He's talking about inverted controls. My ass. Inverted controls.
Oh, well, speaking about effing with people, so I hear there's supposed to be a Parasite Eve.
Man, I was heartbroken. I even think you played Parasite Eve, didn't you, Bloodaxe?
No.
Well, you suck.
So a lot of people had thought that due to some leaks and some other things, that Parasite Eve was going to be remade by Square Enix, but apparently it just ended up being some kind of art project for NFTs, and boos were heard around the world.
Dude, there's a lot of cult classic games. I don't mind remakes of those because you can't mess up canon. Parasite Eve was a very short, contained story. So if you did a remake and changed a few things, as long as you didn't go crazy, I wouldn't mind. What I get annoyed is when they remake something that's like Resident Evil, massive franchise, where when you remake it and screw up the story, it uncanonizes half of the series.
Dude, here's the thing. This is also a game you can remake, and you don't have to change the main character to a female.
Oh, no, she's freaking badass. Dude, all the baddest ass.
It's already a female.
The dudes are dying in that game. Let me tell you something. Looking back on it, this should be a wet dream for these people because the guys got their butts kicked. Every dude is getting spanked. Okay, main character is a woman. Her sidekick is a black male cop. They're check boxes. Check.
And the game was awesome.
Most powerful person in the game, woman. Other secret boss, most powerful character, woman. And a minority. She was Asian. It's like, redo this game. I want to play it. I love Parasite Eve. Mm-hmm. You don't have to change anything. It's a good game. And I would love to get a modern version of it. I would love that. And nobody can complain because it was a cult classic. So if you change some stuff, you're not going to piss off like a million fans. You're just going to piss off a couple of us few people that remember it. And probably we're not going to be too mad because we never thought we'd see another game.
I mean, honestly, you can modernize some of it anyway. I mean, you want to
update the combat system a bit.
So changing stuff isn't necessarily out of reason as long as you keep the premise and you know that concept. It was a good game.
Dude, they could change the sexuality of the main character. It wouldn't affect the story negatively. I wouldn't mind. No, it wouldn't. I played the game. I played both games. I even know the story behind it, like the original about the well, I don't want to spoil it, but literally.
I mean, the game's from 1995. Come on.
True. But, like, it was a really good game, and to me, why don't you start remaking these games that we're desperate to see again because they're not making games for it?
Yeah.
For example, I wouldn't mind a remake of the Mega Man series just because it's dead, and to get it back in there, if they wanted to redo it, I'd be happy just to see it again. You know, stop remaking stuff that's already successful and screwing it up and remake things that could use a second breath that have passed on. Hell, remake Castlevania good this time.
That's where I was going to go, was Castlevania.
I knew you were. That was for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've already remade that a couple of times.
No, I said good.
Blew it,
Remake it good.
No, that's what I'm saying. So remake it a third, fourth, fifth time,
I had to play Bloodstained, which was, the spiritual successor to Castlevania, which wasn't bad, but it wasn't Castlevania.
No, it wasn't bad, though. I enjoyed Bloodstained.
I'm going to pitch something crazy, but you two are the best guys to tell me what you think. I'll make it fast, but the engine I think would be fun to redo Castlevania, especially if you wanted to have multiple different characters you play. Actually, having played recently, we were talking about for the game, Diablo 3, that style of game with the abilities and the top-down view, having Alucard and different Belmonts, and I forgot the name of the mage, that could be fun.
Yeah, it'd be all right.
Go through I don't think that they need to do a side-scroller again for it. I think if they redo it, it should be a different style. And either it needs to be an over-the-shoulder action like Blight looked, or it needs to be a top-down.
I think you could do a cool, similar to God of War as a Castlevania.
They tried that, though. That's why I didn't go there, because they tried that with the...
Yeah, but they did it horribly.
Yeah, they did.
It wasn't the style that was bad.
It was the story, yeah, and the core way they executed it. I only mention that just because if you wanted to have a big castle you explore and have multiple characters that you could play,
or if you want to do a little more top down, you could do a Castlevania, because since you have the whip and the swinging from stuff, you could do it similar to Darksiders.
That wouldn't be bad. Yeah, Darksiders did just
attacks, combos. Yeah,
either one would be fun.
But I think Darksiders actually would probably be even better than the God of War for that style for Castlevania because of the swinging and all that stuff, the mobility.
Well, you're comparing that to the most recent one. The previous God of War was exactly whip, you're using that. But I would play that, man. And yeah, you could, like I said, you could have a couple of start with the most popular one, do Symphony of the Night. So you have multiple characters.
Oh my gosh!
I would do the remake starting from Symphony of the Night and go from there. You got big draw, some of the most popular, but one of the most popular Belmonts, Alucard. You could you know what? Base it on the characters from the Netflix series to get some extra draw, and go from there. That would be a good starting point. But mainly, my main thing, though, is that I'd like to see these games that we liked that died off.
But I do agree you don't need to do the side scroller, because honestly, there's 100 indie games that are doing that already
and are way better.
Yeah.
Those indie games are knocking it out the park, dude. That one you played looked good, but let's be honest, was it as good as even just Dead Cells, which was pretty fucking fun? Oh, dang it! There I go, second F-bomb. And a few others that I've seen that were really good.
I love the Rogue Legacy, Rogue Legacy 1, Rogue Legacy 2, which is that castle crawling type thing, with some interesting elements as a roguelike. But
anyway, though, unfortunately, it doesn't look like they're doing a remake. But this is a rare case of me going. I would be in support of a remake, because then Bloodaxe could try it for the first time.
Yeah.
And I'd get to experience it
again.
And
it's 1995. A lot of people could try it for the first time. Let's be honest. Not 1995. That's what, 20.
The reason it wasn't that popular back then
27 years ago.
Well, also, it was a very complex anime-like storyline, and I think it was ahead of its time. Now, I think that game would definitely resonate with people a lot better.
So basically, anybody, I don't know, early 30s probably has not played this game.
Yeah.
So you have at least 20 years of gamers that you could introduce game
bring
to.
it back. And here's the great part, because they're lazy these days, you don't have to write it from scratch. You've got a great story. You got plenty of material to pull from, but you can play with it. I wouldn't flip out. I would actually not mind some changes so I don't know the story beat for beat. I know that sounds weird coming from me with how I feel about remakes, but it's because the story was good, but it was the whole presentation that made the game fun.
Yeah.
Updating the story would not bother me at all. It would not. So why don't you grab something where people aren't going to freak out because it isn't their childhood you're ruining, and remake that? But is the name not big enough? Is that why it ain't got enough draw? Don't get me, dude. You know how I feel about it.
I know how you feel, buddy.
I wish they would just come to me. I'll give them a list of stuff to remake that was pretty popular, but
I think all of our stories are game related this time. We don't really have anything on not game related.
Dude, what's happening in comics?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Most interesting thing that happened in comics is we gave away some really cool Halloween comics, advanced cards, and TV and games.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the other topics we had were a little on the edgier side.
Well,
We're avoiding Twitter.
We're avoiding. We're avoiding.
We can say the word. We're avoiding Twitter.
Well, politics in general, which is
right
now. Twitter
is definitely avoiding
Twitter is nothing but politics right now. I mean, it's
Twitter and elections. We're just dodging that bullet. We're matrixing. Yeah, we're going old school.
Hold on, I can't hear Bloodaxe. What'd you say, man?
I said that one guy, Raul, he did an excellent troll job though with that box.
Oh,
so
Ligma.
If y'all, yeah, Raul, yeah. That even when I told my kids that, they knew the joke immediately.
Oh, I will say, dude.
Oh, apparently it's well known online. I thought it sounded weird, but I didn't know the whole joke, so I heard it.
I will give that. That's not political at all. Twitter is. It's 100% more troll, and it's been beautiful in that aspect.
Well, yeah, it's not political that a dude walked around and made reporters interview him, do a full interview as Ligma, last name Balls.
Yeah.
Just the Raul Ligma, and the other guy's name was Doug Johnson. So Ligma
Johnson, yeah.
The amount of troll that has been on Twitter has been amusing, if nothing else. It has gotten me to actually open my Twitter app on my phone. So
the thing that was funny to me is just that it shows how bad journalism fell off, because this is political, that they didn't confirm anything. They just walked up to the people, took everything they said as face value, and put it on TV.
And that's been an issue.
Back in the day, they would go, okay, let's check. Do they really work?
I mean, Twitter news has been a problem for a while,
Yeah, so it was just funny that they walked up to the full interview of somebody and, they didn't even work there. Yeah. They even said they've been walking around long enough that if you paid attention, you would have noticed they were hanging out instead of leaving. And, you would have said, wait a minute, why would you be wandering around the outside of the building holding a box for, an hour? But journalism, right?
Yeah. All right, so next up, we have Diablo 4. News. So
oh yeah, the beta.
The beta and reportedly targeting April as the release. So
that's bigger than I thought.
Yeah. Apparently open beta in February. Closed beta I think is going on possibly right now. So I mean you can probably sign up for closed beta and have your fingers crossed. But open beta is in February, which if you sign up for open beta, I think you're just supposed to get it.
Yeah, usually open beta is everybody. Yeah. I mean, I have recently been converted. I finally, after many years of Xeno and Bloodaxe, but especially Xeno, because Xeno's been since I first started Dicejunkies, they've been trying to get me. And I kept going, I don't like MMOs. I heard it's an MMO. Then I got in, and then finally I looked at that Necromancer in Diablo 4, and I said, man, that looks good. And they said, dude, that's what he was like in 3. And I'm like, then finally, Bloodaxe won me over because he called me up and he said, it's $19. And I'm like, I've spent $19 on a burger. Screw it. And I bought it, and I started the Necromancer, and I immediately, later on, went, this is really good necromancy, man. And I have been playing it nonstop. In less than 2 weeks, I'm already
we even have the Necromancer video. One of our biggest videos on our channel is the Necromancer video, which I thought you watched.
I don't watch Damien's crap. I'm kidding. Damien's amazing. Dude, I always had in my mind that Diablo 3 was this grindfest MMO.
What is a grindfest?
It was designed, and there was all that controversy over real money. Yeah. You got to realize from the outside looking in,
but it's not.
All I heard was
it's never been
stuff.
An MMO. I don't know why, because MMO is defined as a massive multiplayer.
But also monetized. There's apparently all this monetization.
Four people is the multiplayer.
And monetization claims, but when I played it, I didn't even see anything for sale.
There's some cosmetics you can buy from the Blizzard store.
I don't even look at cosmetics. You don't care about
that. But they shut down the cash store where you could buy gear from other players. They shut that down. They used to be
the worst.
That was in the first year of the game. That's the first 6 months.
But what he's talking about is
I made $100 and some odd dollars on that store, by the way.
No, you didn't. You've never done anything like that. Remember?
It was legal back then.
Yeah, it was built into the game.
All right. Then,
I
hey, good
bought
job,
I
man. All
bought
right.
the expansions for the game with the money from the crap I sold.
Which, I mean, if you're gonna do a store like that, that's safer than you buying it from somebody on like eBay or something.
Oh yeah, identity theft, not getting the product. There's a massive amount of issues.
Yeah,
But
you have
back on.
Well, the
Yeah,
reason
but
they actually closed it, I think, it had to do with legal issues, and it had to do with console. They couldn't do it, and so they were like, "Well, we don't want to split these projects off too far." So,
Yeah, but recently I've tried it. I've actually found it. I've literally been suggesting. I'm going like, dude, they ought to use this for more games. This play because I didn't expect it to play like an action RPG. I also thought because last time I watched a Diablo game was Diablo 2. It's very point and click. It's very much get your mouse point and click. But this plays well with a controller. Yeah, I can see where it'd be an advantage, that extra bit accuracy, but it flows like an action RPG. I mean, it feels like a genuine action RPG.
And that's why there's no crossplay, is because the controller, they had to mod the game a little bit to make controllers work, because the game doesn't work the same on PC.
I imagine not. But it plays pretty decent on console, and if the console version of Diablo 4 plays like this, then I'm very much looking forward to it. So I just wanted to bring it up as a long doubter and not willing to play it. Because I'm a hardcore. Like, he knows I won't touch turn-based. I've just gotten over it. There are great games like a Dragon and Persona 5 is on Game Pass that I've tried to play, but I just don't want turn-based anymore. And Diablo 3, and I don't like point and click because I played Rift. I played Guild Wars 2. I played EverQuest, and I didn't like the feel of it. This was very close to an over-the-shoulder. It almost plays as if it was an over-the-shoulder. I felt it was very fast, very action-paced. If they keep that going, and I'm saying this for the people out there that are also doubters, surprisingly enough, on Xbox, I don't know about anything else, it plays like an action RPG. So that's my endorsement. So now I want to get in Diablo 4, but Diablo Immortal has really made a lot of people. Look at that glitch. Look at that glitch.
Also, the things we have already heard about possible monetization with Diablo 4. Yeah, but I mean, it's very extreme on the cosmetic
expensive
side.
Cosmetic, yeah. Like, hey, you want this cool skin? Got about $100 and something.
I mean, most of the cosmetic stuff is like, oh, well, this pet. I can get pets in the game. And the pets that you get from buying stuff, a lot of it's if you play other games. So it's like, oh, you buy a 6-month subscription to World of Warcraft, and we'll throw in this Diablo 3 pet, and you're just like, okay, whatever. I'm not doing that.
Dude, I didn't even equip the pet I did have until he told me he could pick up gold for me. And I said, oh, it's actually got a use.
Oh, yeah, no, it does have a use, yes.
I literally was running around with no cosmetics on, and then finally I put on the wings. And then I put on the pet when he told me.
Well, and that is one thing. I mean, I enjoy some of the cosmetic stuff. I like having a character that looks cool. I will say that I enjoy having a badass looking character.
Oh, dude, that Bones of Rafa set is sexy.
And now I don't go and buy transmogs, but I do hunt down like equipment to add into my transmog. I play the other characters because they have some equipment that will only drop for them, but it can be used as a transmog on your other characters.
I'm running so many games of transmogs where I'm running around and it's not even a set for my class because it looks better.
The shadow armor set from the rogue looks badass on the barbarian.
I want an Angel of Death armor for my necromancer. I wish I could get Malthius' skin, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
I'll rip it off him and put it on my character.
Open beta in February. We're definitely going to try to get in there, and hopefully, depending on how the NDA is, we'll see what we can talk about.
You got anything on that, Bloodaxe?
Well, hopefully it'll be on console because I don't play PC games.
No, it is.
Well, I don't know about the beta. Open betas are weird.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about the beta.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be on console, unfortunately, but depending on your guys' reactions to whether or not I'll pre-order it, because in the past I started off with Diablo when I was in college in the early 90s, and we played the hell out of Diablo. Yeah. Diablo 2 came out, pre-ordered it. Diablo 3 came out, bought it right when it came out. Me and Mrs. Bloodaxe, we would go balls to the wall. And I called her the Gobbler because she would just go and just scrape up everything off the screen back when you could share gear. she would grab everything. When she was full, I would grab some stuff, we'd go back to town, then we'd drop everything and we would sort it out from there. But they stopped doing that to where you couldn't even drop gear for other people anymore, which is extremely frustrating because when we're trying to play, he had some gear that I could have used, and I've got a necklace that he wanted and eventually got. But Diablo is a game that I'm not as vocal on as Xeno is, but I grew up on Diablo and played a lot of it, that and Doom. So it is something that I do keep my eye on. I'm not interested in the mobile game, but I'm definitely interested in this version, especially if it plays smoothly on console the way Diablo 3 does.
Yeah, look, I'm not into the mobile thing either. I haven't played it, haven't tried to play it. But I mean, I've got Diablo 1, Diablo 2. I've got Diablo 2 Enhanced Edition.
You sound like me with all the Skyrims I own. I own Skyrim like on PC, Xbox. I had it in the old Xbox. I got the new one.
I maxed out my Paladin again, Diablo 2 Enhanced Edition. So, I've played Diablo for many, many years. I've put thousands of hours in the game. And I'm hoping they don't fuck up Diablo 4. That's my big thing. Is I'm hoping they don't, and that's why I need to get in this beta. Because if I spend money on Diablo 4 and it's crap, I will lose my shit.
Well, I will say, with the guy that was the head of Gears 5 now is working for Blizzard on Diablo. I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head. And that was one of the things that kind of worried me, is how they made so many changes to the Gears franchise that took it in different. But the changes from Diablo 2 to Diablo 3 were major differences, but there were quality of life improvements. The game played more smoothly. It was more chaining attacks than going from enemy to enemy to enemy. I'm hoping they keep the same feel of Diablo 3, but the same overall style from all three.
I mean, I'll be honest. Like a lot of the criers for Diablo 3 when it first came out, I laughed at because it was the biggest thing. Now I will say the multiplayer. They did buff things a little bit much, but the difficulty was what was the cry out when Diablo 3 first came out. And I didn't think it was that bad.
Oh, my God. Those guys couldn't handle Elden Ring.
Yeah.
You know how much I got my cheeks spanked in that game? I almost cried.
So,
I was almost in tears sometimes at the difficulty.
Well, the big thing was they were doubling the health, I think, and the power of things for each character, for each additional. Yeah, they toned it down later. That was one of the big outcries. And I will say, when you got into the torments and you had 4 people, everybody was just dying from one shot. It was just like one shot in everybody. Like the only way, which I mean, honestly, if you get into the high levels of, it's all about not getting hit.
Oh no, I'm a glass cannon.
Yeah, man. You have to use evasion type stuff, and you quit carrying. You quit caring about health as much as you do damage, because it's all about killing everything on the screen as fast as possible before it hits you. That's the only way to get into the higher levels.
Oh no, it's fun, dude. I love that edge of the style. That's the way I play Elden Ring. Like I have an all offense build. I can't take a lick for nothing. I love that by the seat of your pants. I mean, I'm a dude who grew up with Dante Must Die mode. Yeah. Where literally it was like, you don't get hit in Dante Must Die mode on Devil May Cry. So I love that style of play. Let's hope that Diablo 4 will remember the things they did right. Because what I hate is when they get to the next game and it starts off as janky as they were before. Like, they don't start where they stopped. Like, for example, Wonderlands. Our biggest beef with Wonderlands is, when this is a quick one, is me and Bloodaxe have both said this, is that they figured out so much, didn't they, Bloodaxe, on Borderlands 3. For the Mayhem 10, they figured out all this stuff, got to Wonderlands, started from square one, and made all the same mistakes they made at the beginning of Borderlands 3. And I'm like, why?
Well, we know they at least learned from some of their stuff, because we've seen some video of Diablo 4. And if you remember, one of the big things in Diablo 3 is they had to rewrite almost Diablo 3. Because the first time they created it, it was bright, colorful. People compared it to World of Warcraft graphics, and they had to scrap the whole thing and start over because it was so, they lost the darkness and the gore and all that, and people were just like,
to be grimdark.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be grimdark fantasy.
So
yeah,
when 4 came out, they obviously learned.
The only bright and colorful that I like is Whimsy Shower.
Oh, well, yeah,
that's a joke. Yeah.
It's a joke. Yeah,
it's hilarious though.
I like that I also get to customize my character. I love it, man. I'm looking forward to being able to customize my character.
It's funny. I was doing a rift yesterday, and it showed up with the Whimsyshire beasts in the rift. He had teddy bears and flowers attacking me. It was great.
That's pretty funny.
Have you built the staff to go to Whimsyshire?
No, I need to get the Staff of Herding, and I've got Leoric Shinbone, but I need to get the other two pieces so I can them. I've been trying to finish off getting the rest of my pieces of my build first, and then I'm gonna start farming those other things. I keep going to the ice caverns to try to get the one of the recipe items in.
Yeah, that's sort of I think the rainbow fluid stuff drops or something.
Yeah.
I just found the ice caverns.
Yeah, so I keep going when I do the bounties. I always go running around looking for the ice cavern just in case it pops.
Man, y'all got me wanting to play Diablo 3 again. I wish I had somebody to play with.
No, you don't
no, I'm gonna play by myself.
I was gonna say, like, don't you lie to us.
It's $20 on Xbox, bro.
I know. I've told him he could buy it on Xbox. We'll level him. We'll get him to level 70, man, in a night.
Dude, even my oldest son's playing with us.
Why would I pay for Xbox when I have all this stuff on the computer?
You have both versions of Diablo 2. You just said
because
it. Plus, you have to restart every season, sucker.
Yeah, but I keep all I keep a lot of I keep all my pets and all my.
But you've also got friends to play with, and like you said, it's the cost of a cheeseburger, fries, and a milkshake.
Also, what did I say? I said when I started up Diablo 3, it asked me if I had an online account. You might be able to bring that over. Because when I started up, it said,
I will look into that to see if I can pull a lot of my achievements and stuff like that over. Then I might play with y'all.
Because it asked me. I remember when I signed in, it said, "Do you have an online account?" And I'm like, "No."
And I'll see how this whole controller thing works on there. Actually, I may come over. I'm going to come over to your house to work on your computer. Yeah. Let me check it out on your Xbox to see if I'm cool with the way it plays.
Yeah, you can grab my Necromancer and mess around. I don't mind.
We'll say this. I bought an Elite controller. I don't know if y'all can see this.
No, it disappeared.
It disappeared.
Okay, so it's got the normal buttons on top, but it has these 4 paddles underneath, which map to the A, B, X, Y buttons. So I can hold down the A button and start popping the paddles underneath for my other abilities in rotation. That made a major difference in my ability to play this game. I could just leave one thumb on the main attack and pop my other abilities in the process.
I'm amazed. Bloodaxe is such a cheater that he has bought a real life cheat for the game. He has a cheat controller.
No, but my other controller broke, and you were complaining about that, and rightfully so, because my thumbstick was wild. I was like, you know what? Back when I had an Xbox One, I made a controller. I paid for it. I got the colors I wanted. So the same thing with this one. I picked the colors and got my name engraved on it, and they were like, "Do you want this thing on the bottom?" I'm like, "I don't know what that is. It's $20. Yeah, why not?" You know, I thought it was just something that was cool, but no, it actually has a function that's far superior than what I thought it was going to have. So I was shocked that I've enjoyed it so much. I've even started playing it in Wonderlands. Then when I jump, I'll pull the trigger underneath as opposed to pressing the A button. And so anyway, it takes a little bit getting used to. But
you know, the next controller, they actually just have this guy that comes and plays the game for you. It's really good.
I can't say anything about extra buttons. Look, man, here's my game and mouse. As you can see, it has 12 extra buttons on the side there. So.
Nice.
Oh yeah, you're way better than me, Mr. Like, I've got the special. I do mouse and keyboard. It's better. It's because you got that like hotkey.
Yeah.
Freaking controller.
So I got 12 hotkeys on the side that I thumb.
Wow, that is crazy.
Can't you map your mouse to your Xbox via USB?
Only if the game supports it, and very few do. And the couple that I found that did, it was very clunky.
It's like when you try to do the opposite on PC, man. If it's not made for controller, but you go get an app to map it, like I used to do for Elder Scrolls before they put on the controls, it was not a great experience.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on. We've been on this off topic, I think, for a while.
Transmogs.
Transmogs.
Yeah, we mentioned. Segue,
I tried to segue a while back. So, rumors say God of War Ragnarok to feature a transmog armor system due to popular demand. I will say, as I mentioned with Diablo, I do like the idea of my character being able to look badass. As a power gamer, I will wear the ugliest shit possible if it makes me more powerful. So this is nice because this way I can find all my epic stuff that I want to wear, but I can look badass while I'm wearing it. So
dude, Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk. I was walking around with dress pants, like a beanie hat,
that fucking gold ass cowboy hat,
a fishnet jacket. Yeah. I looked like the world's worst prostitute, man. I was like,
I hated that gold glittery cowboy hat, but it was the best stats in the game, and I'm just like,
dude, at the beginning, I had this great basketball outfit, but then I got this jacket. So I had like a suit jacket over like a jersey with the shorts with penny loafers, and I don't care because it was what was keeping me alive.
Yeah. So transmog systems are good. Cyberpunk.
I literally in Skyrim always had to learn smithing because I hated having like ebon boots and dwarven pants and a glass chest. So I was like, no, I'm gonna make a whole dang suit from scratch so that I match from head to toe.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And I would go and I'm a wizard in the forge. I'm like, dude, that wizard's yoked. I'm over there with a smith and like, here, put it on my companion Lydia. Put this on. Now you look good.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've never seen a master smith who's a wizard. It's like, you're not going to walk around looking stupid in my game.
Yeah. So, yeah, transmogs in God of War. Like I said, it's these nice minor touches that make a game feel more complete, you know? And it's one, you know, I hate to go back, but you mean Cyberpunk, where I enjoyed the game. I found it fun. There was a lot of quality of life that was missing from that game. And you know, and you don't think of all of them when you're playing, but then you see it in something else and you're like, man, yeah, that's one of them. You know, and transmog is definitely one of them. Transmog should be...
Or a crafting system where you can swip the possibilities around. Because another way is like example, I just mentioned it. Well, if I can craft this and then take the qualities of the golden cowboy hat and put it on like, you know, freaking baseball cap. That always was nice. And a lot of games have had that where they go, hey, when you craft this item, you can pick what it looks like. But it's got this stat set.
Yeah. You know, I mean, there's games that do things that make, you know, like, I mean, I used to get the armor weave in Fallout 4 so I could wear a cool suit and still be...
Yeah, but I ain't gonna lie. Man, there was a mod. It was called the Handmaid, it said, but on a guy, it was a dapper suit. And I used to put the weave on it, man. I'd be walking around with that Kango and the tie, man. It was like, ooh, I look clean.
Yeah.
Did I go get the Widowmaker shotgun? Go to Nexus mod.
Well, because I'd be playing Fallout 4 Nor style. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I looked like I was out of a Dick Tracy comic with the shotgun. And I'd go and I'd put Piper in a set, man, and have her like, I got a better news. They had a better news outfit that you could download where she looked like an old style reporter.
See, and that's another thing. Good modding system.
Dude, your game can get a second, third, and 25th breath of life if you allow mods.
Now, I doubt God of War is going to have a modding system because it's coming from Sony.
Sony hates you touching their stuff. But I mean, anyway, transmogs is a plus. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not going to play it. It's Sony, but it's great for the
hopefully it hits PC like the previous one did, and then it may be worth playing. Hopefully it won't be like 2 years, 3 years down the road, or hell, I think how many years down the road was it?
Dude, it was a long
2018 that God of War came out, and it was like 2021. Late 2021, early 2022 when it came to PC.
God of War 2 almost came out before it came to PC, man.
Yeah.
That's also why we need to upgrade my PC, because that's on my playlist. I'll play that, because I played every God of War prior to this, and I wanted to play it, but I will not buy a PlayStation, so that's on my, thank you for reminding me that's on my Steam list to go check out.
Because awesome game.
On sale. You're not getting full price, Sony. You never get full price from me.
Awesome game. Hopefully this one will also be really good. Those fine touches like transmog system actually do give me a better feel for the game. Like
it's for the fans. It's something for the players. It's the kind of thing that takes a bit of work to put in, but it's purely for player satisfaction. It's a good direction.
Now, I mean, the armor sets and stuff in God of War have not been huge variants, so you didn't worry that much about transmog. They all sort of look good together as it was.
It's Kratos. There, all of it was just had a very specific style that matches him. Like, he don't have a cowboy hat. Well, I mean,
so there wasn't anything that looked bad, but there was some stuff that did look better than others, and it would have been nice to have been able to transmog that. So that's cool that we're getting.
By the way, that just made me think of something. Blight Survival. We're gonna look like ass clowns. Realistic as that game is, there's no way that the outfits are not gonna have a specific.
I mean, he had full armor on, and
that's the starting set. But you know you're gonna find those like yellow greaves that are really nice. I got a feeling that we're gonna be rainbow children. We're gonna be walking around with multicolored.
As long as I'm not having to wear a bear suit or swim trunks like Dragon Quest or something, you know.
Hey man, the bunny suit, the best
suit,
female armor. I'm not a weirdo. It had the best stats. It raised magic.
Oh.
When I played it, raised magic.
Yeah.
I was like, you tell me why they made the bunny suit have better every stat than armor. Who's the weirdo then? That wasn't me. I'm the min-maxer. They could have had a frumpy librarian outfit. If it had the best stats, that's what I would have had her in.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I'm all about the stats.
So, nice to hear God of War's getting the Transmog system, and let's get in a random encounter.
Do we have time?
Oh wow! I did not realize what time it was.
Dude, we talked a lot about.
We still have two other topics. Maybe we won't do a random encounter this episode.
Yeah, we got to get the Bloodaxe's topic, man.
Yeah. This is just a quick one before we get the Bloodaxe's topic, and I thought this was nice to see. Kojima rejects ridiculously high acquisition offer so he can stay independent.
That's the reason he left in the first place.
Yeah,
that they wouldn't let him do things his way, and I'm glad that he,
So I like a lot of indie studios, and I hate to see when they get bought out by some of the corporations, because a lot of times, a lot of good devs, you see them let go because they only want the names for this, name for that. You know, of course, I'm sure they were trying to buy Kojima with this purchase.
Sony was, yeah.
Yeah.
But luckily, he stayed independent, and Microsoft was willing to just go into a partnership because, they're not Satan. But, Sony tried to buy him out, and my God, who knows what they would have done to his work, man. They'd have gutted it.
Yeah.
And made it console exclusive. So I'm glad he didn't do that. Because they're the ones that canceled his Silent Hill. Yeah, I remember that. That's when they really
they screwed him over too and removed his name from
Metal Gear Solid 5. I don't know, man. They're a bunch of a-holes, dude. I'm sorry, but my grudge at Sony is not merely a console thing. It's like they have repeatedly done what I call bad practices.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying they're irredeemable. I used to play PlayStation. I don't know what happened, but somewhere between PlayStation 3 and 4, they just kind of they got too cocky and went all in. I mean, this is why I'd be terrified. If I had to choose a monopoly, that's why I favor Xbox. If Xbox had a monopoly, I'm not saying they'd be perfect, but we've seen how Sony acts with just a large share of the market. If they had a monopoly, a real monopoly, God only knows what the gaming industry would look like. Just being blunt.
Yeah.
They're the evil megacorp, man. They're as technology for the Shadowrun fans. They're not Ares. They're as technology. They are the evil megacorp. And Microsoft is just a megacorp. They're the greedy megacorp.
Yeah.
But they're greedy. I can deal with greed. I can't deal with psychos and a-holes. You know what I'm saying? Because all it means is that Microsoft is going to do what makes them money.
Yeah.
Sony don't even care about money. They make some bad calls, dude. Kojima's name sells games. Okay, Death Stranding was weird. You know it was. It was bizarre. But everybody said, it was pretty, man, I like, it's Kojima. And I'm like, dude, it's a baby in a glass bottle, a dream baby. But you know what? His name had so much clout that the game got awards and, was still, people literally
it was his name and because they modeled the
who they were going to put in Silent Hill. That would have been huge. Everybody wanted to see that dude. Yeah, the guy from Walking Dead, everybody wanted to see him in Silent Hill. That game would have sold even if it was him taking a crap in a bucket. Like, that is how much star power. Sony, though, is literally willing to throw money out the window for whatever their main objective is.
Yeah.
Like, losing their deal with Kojima, Silent Hill, that was guaranteed sell. A Kojima, Silent Hill, with right at that time, one of the most popular stars, money printed. But who knows what went through their minds. But I trust, you know what? If you're about money, that means I can trust you because at least I know where you're coming from. I know what to expect from you. I don't know what to expect from Sony, man. They scare me at times with some of their decisions. I have no idea what their objective is.
All right, last thing we have is one from Bloodaxe. He follows Obsidian pretty close, and apparently Obsidian has its 8th annual Obsidian Extra Life Xbox Series S giveaway. You want to talk about that, Bloodaxe?
I mean, it's like they're very well grounded. You know?
Oh, bada boom.
Hey, man, they're out of this world.
You have the sound effects for that.
I do. I'm not over there near the button, though.
But yeah, so
touch
you know
something,
me,
I'll
I always
screw
try to
this
look
up.
for something positive because we have so much negativity in the world today, and even in pop culture. So I do try to find the positive. Like was it a year or 2 years ago, we had the It's Johnny weapon skin for the Children's Outreach Network that would purchase gaming consoles and TVs for kids in hospitals. And so the Extra Life Foundation, this is the 8th year they've been doing this, and they've raised millions of dollars for children's therapies in hospitals. They do a stream every year. And looking at their website, I think this year Magic the Gathering is leading the fundraising at $700,000. So they are doing some good for children that are, you know, not well, and we definitely wish them all the best. But I shouldn't be even talking about this on the show because I've entered into the contest. But anybody that's watching this is going to be made aware of it. The cutoff to enter is the 13th of November, but they took an Xbox Series S and they made it into a spacer, which is the mysterious machine from Grounded. And I gotta have it. It would go perfectly in my collection. I wouldn't even play it. It would just be a display piece. But I was looking up their the website, and apparently they do a lot of stuff with children in the hospitals. So it's for a good cause. If you're available to watch the stream, it's starts on the November the 11th on Twitch, and it goes through the 13th. And the proceeds for the funds raised go to the Children's Hospital of Orange County. So it's definitely a good cause. It's something that's positive, and I think that's a good way to wrap up the show, was on a positive note.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
Cool.
I'm all for it. I'll go join in. If I win it, I'll just give it to one of my boys. But like, just to support it, I'm willing to donate because I've been in that hospital. You remember my son was sick, and like, children are miserable in that environment, man. Anything to help them get over that is good.
Bring the happy note down. There you go.
No, no, I'm saying it's a great cause. It's
know,
amazing. He's alive. He made it.
I'm joking.
But like, that's an amazing thing. I'm pro charity, especially for charity for children. So I'm just backing up Bloodaxe in that. I will always be willing to donate to a children-related charity.
Well, children-related charities tend to be non-political, and that's always
that helps.
Yeah.
Now, Q, if you win, I'll buy you a Series X in exchange for the Series S.
Okay. I'll trade with you. Okay. I mean, no, he's a collector, y'all. He's not kidding. Like, he collects things. Yeah. Like, he has a massive collection. He's that guy that, like, Star Wars screwed up when they pissed him off because he spent so much money on Star Wars collectibles that I'm sitting there going, like, Kathleen Kennedy, you better send this man an apology letter because he's worth 50 of the people you think you are.
I will enter just for Bloodaxe's sake. I don't even want to trade or anything. If I win, you can just have it.
No, have him buy me the Series X, man. I need the memory. Jeez,
all right.
What a great
if I win, I'll give it to Q, and then you have to buy it from him for the X.
You should see my lightsaber collection.
I need it.
My lightsaber collection is insane.
Yes.
You haven't seen all my lightsabers that I have.
But I mean, the helmet, man, you got that, the collectible. I think you got a Boba Fett, or is it a Mandalorian helmet, or is it both?
Jeremy Bullock signed a Boba Fett helmet, and I got it for Christmas a couple of years ago. I've got a figurine signed by Tamora Morrison. I've got several lightsabers. I got Dooku, I got Darth Vader, I got the black saber, I got Revan's lightsaber, I got Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsaber, and that's not even getting into my $20,000 worth of Star Wars Pops figurines. So no, I'm a Star Wars-aholic. I'm a Star Wars collector amongst some other things. And so yeah, no, this would be just one of those trophies I would have and not even play.
And it looks awesome, dude. That game, Grounded,
Yeah.
was probably, when we beat Grounded, I will say that the nostalgia, that when it comes to a game that made me feel like I did back in the day, this is the first game I've played that made me remember my childhood like that. It really hit all the notes, the style. I mean, I know this game was made by people in their 30s and 40s because there's no way they replicated it that well. They got it down. We were walking around, man, and just going like, these people had to have sat in front of a friggin' He-Man Castle Grayskull. Like, they had to. They got it down too good.
It was Yoked Girth was the name of the figurines, along with
And
Moldor. And when you find the cassette tapes, all the names of the cassette mixes were based off bands. Like there was Pour Some Poison on Me, hair metal, and then there was
they mixed two songs. They would mix several up. What was the one about Mama said to knock something? It was like two songs.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And then there was the heavy metal one was with the seventh son of the seventh pet or something like that, or the seventh pet of the seventh son. So yeah, they would mix all this stuff together. But we all knew the references because of our age bracket. My kids would have no idea what that is.
The Army Men, dude. The Army Men in the mud. How many Army Men did you lose in your backyard? Like,
I mean, making references like that in nostalgia is how you make things for kids that adults can watch or play. You know, it's because you add that nostalgia. It's fun for the kids. It's fun for the adults. Double win.
Absolutely. And so definitely, I mean, if we can, still partake in the nostalgia and, some kids benefit from it, that's a great day.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So we'll leave on an up note, but just to put a little bit of a thing in there, I just got to say, this is the Obsidian I like. Where were they when they made Outer Worlds? Because no, doesn't have to be downer. It's just Grounded is such an immaculate project that these are the guys that made New Vegas. These that made Grounded
Outer
are the people
Worlds,
that made New Vegas.
Let's be honest. Outer Worlds has some good points, man. It just wasn't fleshed out, and that's the thing. Fallout was fleshed out before they got a hold of it.
But they built Grounded from the ground up.
But you also have to look at the dev teams. I mean, Ground is like a small 10, 14 person team, and who knows what projects they've worked on. They may not even touched Outer Worlds. So just because a company makes some good games don't mean they won't have something that messes up from time to time. But if they had put as much early development into Outer Worlds, and I think the success in Grounded is the public playtest before it was even fully released.
True.
Because they got so much feedback from us.
And let me correct what you said, though. Now, no, they did not mess up. Outer Worlds is not a bad game. I'm just saying it's not up to the par. Like I said, it's the... Compared to their other two games, I'm just going, man, it would have been great if they got it on that level.
No, what we got should have been the playtest, and then we should have built on top of that like they did out.
Outer Worlds was fun, but it was glitchy. There was a lot of bugs and problems that I don't know if they ever got fixed or not. But I enjoyed it for what it was. Even some of the more leftist storylines didn't bother me because it felt organic and natural, so it was a fun game. Now, if I could actually completed the quest where the guy on the moon didn't shoot me every time, I'd have been happier with that. But I had to stand that entirely. So no, it was a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to the second one. Maybe they've learned from some of their earlier mistakes and they'll flesh it out better.
I believe in them. I'm expecting a lot better game from the second one.
Yeah, but they have a universe now.
Yes.
At least so maybe they just build on top of it and have a more complete game.
Yeah. Because don't get me wrong, the foundation for that to have been New Vegas in space was there. They just never came back and did it. When I was playing, I kept telling him, I said, man, I can't wait till they put in where I can use landmines and traps and, grenades.
You had all these other worlds, too. It had all this room for expansion that they really didn't use. I can't wait till they
go deeper into the corporations.
They had the corporations and never really went into those.
But I know they can do it, so this is not meant to down the game. It's more of a, I've seen you make A+ work. I got a B. I would have liked to have seen an A or an A+.
I mean, even this game, dude, it's still a backyard. It's not a huge world or anything.
Oh, yeah, it is.
No, it's a small world with miniature characters.
He's basically saying they didn't have to do a lot of world building. They had a lot. They basically just took a backyard and shrunk it down, which they do their best work when they're working with what he's saying established material. That's when they're at their best.
But the amount of diversity in the backyard, you can tell you're in different tier zones.
Well, no, that's what they did in New Vegas too. When you give them a good foundation, man, they rock it.
But yeah, no, and you're right. It is, just a backyard with a bunch of trash and lawnmower and a sandbox. But what they've done with those biomes and elements, based off real life bugs, was actually pretty amazing.
Yeah, you know what else had biomes and elements? Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
That's what I compare this to: is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids meets Eight-Legged Freaks.
See, they had something to work with.
Also, Bloodaxe, don't forget what this game was when it first was in beta and what it ended up being. No, he's right. If they'd have kept working on Outer Worlds, because, dude, the first Grounded was okay. The end thing is a massively more detailed thing than what they started with. If they had baited Outer Worlds and kept working on it, the current Outer Worlds would be probably the best friggin' space game out there, and we'd probably still be playing it right now. I'd probably still be on it. Dude, there's a new mod on Master Chief. Running around in Master Chief armor in Outer Worlds.
There's still things I haven't found in Grounded, and which is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
I have 1,200 days played, and there's still things I haven't found.
His kid's 32. Like, he's played that much that in game. Like, he's played years. He's been in the backyard in years. And he doesn't sleep. So those are play hours. This dude, he didn't know that there were cutscenes when you sleep because he never slept. I go and sleep. I'm like, dude, did you see the cutscene? He's like, what cutscene? I'm like, you've never slept ever? No, he literally played this game, has thousands of in-game hours, thousands of game hours, and in-game years had passed.
Yeah,
never slept.
100 days. Because I have been playing for almost 3 to 4 years.
Yes, in game it's like 3 or 4 years of time has passed. He never slept, and I literally go, man, that cutscene was crazy, right? And he's like, what cutscene? And I'm like, oh my god.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up with that. Thanks for watching. Be sure to tell your friends. Come and see us live on YouTube every Sunday at 3:30. Central Time, and you can catch us out Dicejunkies.com /Dicejunkies.com/links. I don't remember the slash. Anyway, just go to the links tab, and you can find out where we are: Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, all that good stuff. And be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell.
Hit the notification bell now, because we're on YouTube, so you need to hit that bell.
And as always,